Welcome back. Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on KCBQ 1170 The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with Whissel Realty, joined as always by Jason Hall with Team Home Loans representing the traditional lenders today. We've got Louis Stathakis with Louis Loans representing the private money lenders today. And we've got our independent third party, Mr. Brian Kochi, Marketing and Media Manager at Whissel Realty. If you ever have any questions for any of the guests here on the show, want to listen to past episodes of the show, you can always visit our website, whisselwednesdays.com, WHISSEL Wednesdays.com. So before the break, we were kind of getting the lowdown on some of the differences between the two different loans that you guys do. Wanted to talk about a scenario that worked out extremely well for me recently on a property I purchased where, you have the option of looking, do I go traditional or do I go with private money? And in this particular case, we had somebody visit our website, whisselrealty.com, and just wanted to find out what their home was worth. They went on there, got a valuation. We reached out to them. They said, we want to sell the property, but we just want to have it done. We need it closed, in 2 weeks. And we don't, want to deal with somebody getting a loan and an appraisal and all of that stuff. We just want it gone. So,
and it had been a rental property for a while,
right? It had been a rental property. Tenant had just left. They lived out of state, sick of dealing with, tenants, toilets, trash, all that stuff. And they said, hey, we're interested in selling it. This is our number. They wanted $325 for it. And it's in Santee. $325 for a house in Santee is a smoking deal. So I went out, checked out the property, talked to them, and they said, look, we're ready to do a deal, but we want you to close in like a week. And as you mentioned, Jason, the fastest you've ever done a loan is 14 days. So obviously,
the fastest recently,
and
right? Because when you and I met years ago, I was able to do a deal
quicker.
in 2 days. Believe it or not, you guys.
Many years
ago. So Brian and Louis, believe it or not, many years ago, when Kyle and I met, I actually did a loan start to finish in 2 days before the government's guidelines got too much kicked in. We had the appraiser out there, everything on day one, docs out day two. It funded that afternoon. It was great.
Wow. And there's a reason you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
It's called what happened during 07, 8, 9, 10, 11 with all the foreclosures because you could get loans done that quickly and I's weren't being dotted and T's crossed.
Correct.
So in this case, they said, hey, we want you to close, in a week. And obviously a traditional loan is not an option to close in a week. So that's where the private money loan really came into play to my advantage because if I was able to close on this property in a week, I could get the property for significantly below market value. And so that's where I reached out to Louis, said, hey, I got this deal. Here's the price I got to buy it for. Here's what I'm going to spend to rehab it. Here's how much I intend to sell it for. And we did that loan 3 weeks ago, bought the property for $312,500, put less than $20,000 into it. 2 weeks to do the rehab.
And you're going to put this all out on the radio?
I'm going to put it on the radio because that's the opportunity.
I'm just making sure.
I'm fine with it. All right? But this is an opportunity, though. We work with a lot of investors at Whissel Realty, and we're just trying to show you the options that are out there and how a private money loan can help you make a lot of money. And in flipping, all results, this isn't always typical. You don't hit home runs like this all the time. But when you are flipping properties, if you do enough of them, every once in a while, you're going to hit a home run like this. You hit a lot of singles like Tony Gwynn.
You put about 20 grand into it.
Yeah, you hit singles like Tony Gwynn. You're going to hit a home run every once in a while. So we bought it for $312, 20 grand into it, on the market for a week, in escrow for $440.
That's some major boom and cha-ching, right?
It is. And you got to think that would have never happened if I didn't have somebody like Louis on my team to put that loan together in a week for me and make it happen. So that's one of those scenarios where a private money lender can really come into play to your advantage and help you make a ton of money in this industry.
Right. And a lot of consumers who utilize somebody like Louis are writing pretty much cash offers because it really is like a cash offer, right, Kyle? So this is an advantage to helping getting your offer accepted quicker and faster that I've seen in the marketplace is people say, hey, we'll close in a week, and we'll pay you the same price that, Jason's client's, going to pay, but it's going to take 30 days.
Right.
Right. And that's sometimes we're losing out to that cash offer, which a lot of times, listener listening right now, that cash offer a lot of times is a private investor behind it. Right, Louis?
Correct.
So that's kind of a huge thing to pick up as you're listening. I mean, that's huge. I mean, if you really are losing because people want shorter terms, that's something you can do with a private investor.
Right. And when you're flipping homes, you're looking for the 5, or in San Diego, we have 6 Ds, and that's where the deals are found. And it's death, divorce, disease, disaster, default, and then in San Diego, we have deployment. So you're looking for those are where the
6
opportunities
Ds, I
are,
like
the
that.
6 Ds.
I don't think I've heard that.
Yeah, we should do a video on that, huh?
We should.
So in the market that we just got out of where there was a lot of default, that was where the opportunities were. And we still get calls from investors all the time saying, hey, I want a deal. I want a deal. Do you have any short sales? Do you have any foreclosures? Those are a thing of the past right now. I mean, do we still get one here and there? Yeah, but they're, a needle in the haystack. And when we do have them, everybody still has it in their head that those are the best deals. The problem is everybody has that in their head, so everybody flocks to them and then bids them up to the point where they're not even close to deals anymore. So going after those other 5 Ds, again, death, divorce, disease, disaster, and then the 5th one on top of default would be deployment. That tends to be where we see the most opportunity for investors right now. So there is a lot of opportunity when you're looking to flip homes. And then on the flip side of the coin, with the traditional loans, Jason, like I mentioned, we've done a lot of business together, and we recently bought a property for our pig rescue, and we know that's a property we're going to hold on to for a long time. We're not buying that property to rehab it and resell it, a month later. We're buying that property to hold on to it forever. And that's one of those situations where the traditional money loan comes into play, because now we can lock in an interest rate, and we know that it's never going to go up for the next 30 years. And in a perfect world, it could go down. If craziness like Greece, like we've been talking about.
If Greece doesn't pay any debt, if they don't want to pay back their debt or restructure it, I mean, that's the craziness. What's going to happen, if they don't pay? And,
right. So how is, for both of you guys, private money, traditional money, how is Greece affecting your loan rates right now, today?
Long-term rates, they're volatile. I mean, they're just up and down right now today. I mean, they're literally, they were down yesterday, up today. That's just kind of what's happening. It's crazy. How about you, Louis?
Zero impact.
Zero impact on short term.
Right.
So,
So what you're saying, you are Greek, but your money's not coming from Greece. Because if your money was coming from Greece right now, it might have a hard time.
Years.
Right.
Might have a hard time funding those deals right now.
I got to make a quick withdrawal. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
120,
I think you can only get 120 euros right now if you do make a withdrawal. So unless somebody's buying a little tiny home, I don't know if that's going to work out well.
Okay.
Right. Hey, I know we're getting ready to go to break. We got some exciting news. A little drum roll here. I'm going to bring it up a little bit later, but I know recently, Kyle, that the Wall Street Journal has put out there the top teams across the nation. So when we get back from break, we're going to talk. Where did Kyle Whissel and the Whissel Realty team end up on the Wall Street Journal for 2014? Again, you're listening to 1170 AM The Answer. This is Whissel Wednesdays.
Till tomorrow.